Hot coffee. There's nothing I like more than to celebrate the end of my day with a piping hot cup of coffee. And we all know what hot coffee means if we remember GTA. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the king of caffeine. A nice cup of hot coffee brought to you by Strixhaven's Firejolt Cafe. Okay, so this seems to be the topic du jour of a moment, and there's no way I was going to pass it by. So let's take a look at the free D&D adventure that was posted today on D&D Beyond, where you get to work at Strixhaven's Firejolt Coffee in an adventure called No Tears Over Spilled Coffee. The adventure takes place over the course of the character's first day at work at the Firejolt Cafe. The manager, Aline Tanglewood, schedules the group for training but quickly falls ill. She trusts the characters to work together to run the cafe as she recovers. Player's objective: clean the coffee machine. Successfully fear drink orders during the morning rush. Save customers from the monsters hidden in the newsstand. Work together to complete a complex drink order. And for that, you get a weekly wage of 5 gold pieces, which is ridiculous, but okay. Now, is this a joke or is this serious? This is by Michael Gelvis. It's on D&D Beyond. It was posted on December 2nd, but it's getting a lot of attention today for some reason. I'm not sure because it's been up since December 2nd, but I guess now because of Strixhaven and other things and the new Monster Manual, now it's getting attention. Okay, so I can't tell if this is a joke or if it's serious because follow my logic. Wizards of the Coast is based in Seattle. What is Seattle most known for? Coffee shops and coffee shop culture. Portland and Seattle, coffee shops in every corner, Starbucks in every corner. What's going on at coffee shops lately? The coffee shop employees are being verbally and physically abused by the customers. And if the coffee shop employees attempt to respond or defend themselves against the verbal and physical abuse from the customers, they get fired. So there's very little that's protecting them from the onslaught of the customers. Getting scalding hot coffee thrown in your face is not worth $11.50 an hour. The physical and mental abuse that coffee shop clerks and retail clerks in general are suffering at the hands of these pampered, Karens is just horrible. So is this a political statement on this situation? Replacing angry customers with monsters. Except, of course, there are no monsters anymore in Dungeons & Dragons because there's no evil. Now, the actions of a Karen could be considered, I guess, chaotic neutral or lawful selfish or just chaotic stupid. But a Karen physically and verbally attacking a barista for doing their job wouldn't be considered evil under the new D&D rules. They'd just be considered annoying and problematic, and you have to use your rules to roll the appropriate dice to get them to deal with it. And of course, you can't kill them. You can't respond to them with physical violence. When that orc comes up to your character and throws the hot coffee in your face and does 1d6 subdual damage, you have to smile because it's against the company rules, and it's against the new rules of TSR Wizards of the Coast that you can't kill anymore. So you can't kill anybody in this adventure. So is this a joke? Is this a commentary on the direction that Wizards of the Coast is taking the game? The sort of implied ridiculousness and silliness of Strixhaven. The idea that D&D characters now have to get jobs to support their career at Strixhaven. Coffee. Except I'm not drinking coffee, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Not sponsored, but should be. Or is this guy serious? And this is actually a serious starting adventure for Strixhaven characters. I honestly don't know. If this is a joke, it's a great joke. If this is a tongue-in-cheek stab at coffee culture and what's happening to baristas and employees in retail and just, the monsters that they have to face on a daily basis as you're working, then great. I love you. I love this. This is brilliant. But this is actually serious. If this guy is actually like, yeah, this is a serious adventure. This is what every player coming to a D&D table wants. I want to role play cleaning out a coffee machine and having hot coffee thrown in my face by a six-armed squid beast. Then, yeah. Now, this would be a great adventure or a starting adventure in like a cyberpunk campaign or a modern day campaign. It's definitely great for like a Stranger Things Tales from the Loose campaign, like a Dresden Files Ghostbusters Urban Arcana campaign. It'd be great for like a Star Wars campaign, the Cantina in Star Wars, and you're just there slinking drinks and suddenly a saber fight breaks out and your characters get wrapped up in it. This would be great. This would even be great if Strixhaven was its own thing and not whatever it is. D&D, I don't know. Because even though Strixhaven is technically just a one-shot adventure, it's being treated as a source book and as the direction D&D Magic wants to go. And I guess people think that that's what D&D players want now is prom and coffee shops, even though every 5e player I've talked to lately has gone, no. So, yeah, I don't know where Strixhaven stands in the mentality, but if Strixhaven was its own separate entity and not part of D&D, but actually just a separate campaign that happened to use D20, and you really got into the whole magic school, super school idea, which a lot of games have done better, you know? I mean, think this is like the X-Men. You got to go to school at Xavier's, but you got to get a job. And if you got a job at the coffee shop and that used that as a springboard for a campaign kernel, actually, that would be cool. And like I said, this would be perfect for like an Urban Arcana, Stranger Things, Tales from the Loop game. But for a D&D game, even if it's a one-shot, my biggest hurdle is cleaning out the coffee machine and having to fulfill one of those $55 bizarre drink combinations, which, by the way, those can't taste good. And there's just too much goop in one cup, guys. All right, so yeah. Player objectives: clean the coffee machine, successfully fulfill drink orders during the morning rush, save customers from the monsters hidden in the newsstand, work together to complete a complex drink order. Weekly wage of 5 gold pieces. We have the information on the Firejolt Cafe. It looks like a coffee shop. Actually, it looks like, I don't know what this looks like. This is a huge freaking coffee shop if it's a coffee shop. We've got the descriptions. And the first encounters are with coffee mephits. Somehow a bunch of mephits have gotten into the coffee machine. Coffee machines now exist in D&D. And then we have the different positions and what you have to roll to fulfill the various skill tests. So they brought back skill tests. Remember, skill tests was a thing in 4th edition. Where adventures were written, where you also had to do, the normal adventure stuff, but there would be like 2 or 3 skill check things. Then you get the impossible drink order. Here it is. I'll have my usual, a large cold whip, half and half, half warm milk, double shot long strider with a low fat caramel glaze, 3 pumps vanilla banana cream, iced but warm, and a medium cup with extra room. Yeah, I can't even imagine what that would taste like. Large cold whip, half and half, half warm milk, double shot long strider. It's long strider espresso in D&D world. So a large cold whipped, half milk, half coffee, double shot of the coffee, espresso with a low fat caramel glaze. I don't know how you glaze. I worked at Starbucks, so I'm like, how impossible would this drink be? It'd be difficult. But I don't know if it'd be impossible. I don't remember the exact things on the $55 drink, but I know it was more than this. Then we have the closing time. And that's it. So the only physical counter is the mephits, it looks like. Then you have the skill checks. Then you have the impossible drink order. It's a DC 11. And you get a tip of $1. And then you have to close. Yeah, so that's the adventure. 2 encounters, plus the things like clean the drink. I don't know how you could stress that out to 3 hours and make it fun. Is the idea of role-playing a barista something people really want? Oh, God, dude, I can't wait to get to the game store tonight. OGGM is running that coffee shop adventure. Oh, yeah, I'm going to boil the hell out of that water. And I don't know. I got to think this is a joke. I got to think this is a just making fun, tongue-in-cheek goofiness. And yeah, again, if Strixhaven was Strixhaven and not part of D&D, but its own separate entity, you could go somewhere with this. But since it is D&D, this is dumb. And this would be actually a great kernel for a starting adventure for an urban arcana, even a low-power superhero, Star Wars space campaign. I mean, yeah. Starting the characters all working together at a blank, and then having adventure just sort of fall in their lap, and they have to do the adventure stuff as well as do their job at the blank. And then you get the inevitable bad guy who gets all angry because of the order and, slaps you or something, and you're like, but you can't respond. You can't respond. You cannot slap him back or else. So, yeah. Somewhere in this nonsense, there's the kernel of a good idea that could be fun for something, but is there really a market for 5e players wanting to play a barista that I just don't see? Because, maybe there is, and I'm just like, yeah, but I gotta think. On my surface, my initial response is this is a joke. This has got to be a joke. I mean, Seattle, coffee shop culture, what's happening to coffee shop employees now, the pressures of having to work at a coffee shop in 2020 America, and then just amp it up with magic and spells and the ridiculousness of the Strixhaven setting. And yeah, it's got to be a joke, right? But what if I'm wrong? What if this is serious? What if this is what people think D&D players actually want to do right now? Is it? Are you a 5e fan and listening to the sound of my voice? Is this something you'd actually want to play? Let me know. Seriously, let me know, because I don't know what the 5e players actually want. I know there's a lot of 5e players who are going, this is dumb, but are you a 5e player? Do you appreciate this? Do you think this is a good idea? Is this the direction you really want to see 5th edition go? I'm actually serious. Let me know, because I don't know. Till next time, I have been the OGGM. Please subscribe and buy me a coffee.